Hey guys, how are you? It's Diana, otherwise known as GEODE COURSE, and welcome back to another video. For those who haven't seen me before, I am an epoxy resin artist, an epoxy resin art supplier, art dealer, and today I'm going to take you through my journey on how I created this painting right here called DULCET. It is not a tutorial, but if you did want to learn how to create resin art, I do have a basics beginners course for you. Or if you wanted to learn how to create geode inspired art just like the one we're working on today, I do have a course for you as well. And if you wanted to learn how to create ocean inspired resin art, I also have a course for you. So before we get started, I want to pull off the pigments from the shelves that I used today so you know what I used, in case if you want to try and dabble in the same colors or kind of familiarize yourself with what pigments I had acquired. So let me show you. Parfait. So Parfait is a creamy pink pigment that is very unique to Dianka pores because I hand created it myself and you won't find it anywhere. And I wanted to pair it with something else. I usually don't do more than 2 colors because I feel like it gets too busy for the viewer. So I used another pretty muted creamy color, which is Dulce. Probably my best seller of my shop is Dulce. A very unique, beautiful color. It's almost like a creamy brown, gray, taupey champagne color. Hard to describe, fun to use. So I paired these two together and those are basically my only 2 colors. And then I did supplement with the basics, which are white, of course. And I love to use Excellence White because it doesn't have the pearlescent effect that Mica gives you. It's just like a matte white, similar to what a wet acrylic would give you. But I like working with this because it is very thick and very opaque. So it is key. And then of course, I can't forget the gold accents. So this is my antique gold. I use it around my crystals and other areas on the painting. You'll see later in this video. I do like to pair it with my glitter. And if you are new here and you don't know the system that I have, I created a line of golds and glitters that match that gold. So this antique gold, I created glitter that is in the same shade as this gold so you can have it matched and look cohesive throughout your artwork. And I sell them in fine, in chunky, and in blend, so you can have different size variations if you want. I'll show you a clip of my wall really quickly to describe exactly what I mean. I'm smiling right now because that was a tongue twister. I tried saying that line several times. Try saying I'll show you a clip of that wall really quickly 10 times fast. Not easy. The floating pigment that I chose to use today is my antique gold. This is my brightest gold of my entire collection, and if you want to compare it to the others, you can see how antique gold compares to rustic gold, Egyptian bronze, and rose gold. And then what I did for people who didn't want the brightness of those colors, I took that same color and toned it down a little for pale antique gold, pale rustic gold, and pale bronze. This is just sterling silver for anyone who wants to create a geode or painting with silver instead of gold. What I did with these golds is I created glitter that matches the same color as the gold. So when I'm working with antique float to the top gold, I will also use antique gold glitter. And for this project, I wanted to use antique gold glitter in fine and antique gold glitter in chunky. I also have the glitter blended with many different sizes in there, which is absolutely beautiful, but I'm not using it for this project. I also just remembered that I also used my white silver glitter, which I'll take any excuse to do because this is super unique because it is not made of plastic like regular glitter is. This is actually made of metal, which creates a highly reflective effect. And so I try to use it on any painting I can get my hands on because it does just like elevate it. It really truly does. Another very popular item in my store. Something else that I really love to use, and this is to put over my glass. You'll see at the end, I'll show you where I use all of these items, by the way. This is glitter glass. So this is also what I consider glitter, but it's not made of plastic. It is made out of glass. So it is also extremely highly reflective, and it makes your glass points look incredible, like an actual druzy. And then I like to use my tiny drizzle cubic zirconia. These are very, very small pieces. of cubic zirconia that I like to drizzle onto my quartz. And what else? I think that might be about it. Feel free to browse my website. I have all of my pigments on there. I have my glitters on there, my pastes, and everything I used will be linked in the description below, so you don't have to go looking for it. It'll all be in one place. I also added this super cool new feature called Ask Dianka onto my website, so you can reserve a 30-minute time slot to have a Zoom call with me to talk to me about virtually anything that you want, and I will help you along in your resin journey. So if you have any questions and don't want the trial and error of trying to figure it out, you can go ahead and ask me, and I will do my best to help you. The courses are on there as well. And my final and very exciting announcement before I show you the rest of the video is I am releasing 12 new pigments to my store. They're actually resting right here, ready to go. There are 3 sets of 4 pigments, so I have 12 coming to store. Very exciting. It's a lot of work to release new pigments, so I've been trying to get the ball rolling and get these out. My process of releasing pigments is I do create a giveaway before I put them out to the public. So if you're feeling lucky and want to win 12 free pigments, whether you are domestic or international, I accept all entries. I will be posting a giveaway on my Instagram. So follow me on my Instagram, Dianka Pours, and be on the lookout for a giveaway because you might just win 12 new pigments. And if you're here after the giveaway is over, head to my website. They're probably available by now. I think I covered all of my bases. Like this video and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100K. I am this close, which is a huge milestone. I'm very excited. So if you have a moment and could subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Okay, let's get into it. I wanted to turn Parfait and Dulce into a more pastel color, so I used Excellence White pigment paste to help me do that, but also to make them a little bit more opaque. When creating geode resin art, in order to stop the resin from sliding off the edges of the panel, I like to tape the borders with blue painter's tape, and then once the resin gets tacky, I remove the tape and then the resin will slowly slide off the side and cover those sides. But in this case, it's counterproductive because these panels are 3 inches wide, and so I made the mistake of still doing that, but when the resin slid off the sides, you can see here that it didn't cover everything and it just hardened as drips. So I had to take it in and get it sanded down and start all over again. My next step is to line these gold lines around my glass points with some glitter. So I'm going to take some antique gold in fine and chunky, mix it together with some resin, and create some line work. At this stage, I felt like something was missing in the white areas, and my plan was to do it with some gold glitter, but I felt like it would overwhelm the painting, so I decided to use my white silver glitter, which I will never say no to. So I mixed that again to the fine and chunky and created some line work in the white. At this point, I'm done layering my glass on top of my painting, and so what I'm going to do is bring some life, some vibrancy, some sparkle and shine by sifting on top of that some glitter glass. So I'm sifting this on top of some wet resin so it stays, and what it does is it reflects light tenfold, and so it really creates a really elegant piece. So if you can see here before what it looked like, and then after what it looks like, so you can see how that glitter glass really brings in that light to reflect back at you. I discovered a little bit of a hack that you might appreciate. So when resin slides over the side of the panel, it usually thins out and the color doesn't stay. So I decided to take the mica color that I was using for that area, mix it with some acrylic paint, and create my own mica tinted Parfait colored paint to color over the sides, so now none of that thinning out is an issue for me. You could also try and substitute the acrylic paint with acrylic heavy body medium to see if that works for you as well. My final step is to take my pale antique gold pigment powder and turn it into a liquid by mixing in some artist gloss varnish to use that as a paint, and take a paintbrush to paint over my crystals and druzy area. I want to share another tip with you guys. So it happens when you use any of my floating pigment powders. They're called floating because when you add heat to them, these particles float to the top and create a really metallic reflective effect. Same thing goes for when you use it as paint. So as you can see here, it looks really dull, but when I add some heat to it, those particles float to the top and make this gold look very beautiful and reflective. I try to combat the issue of where my resin slides over the sides and hardens as drips by removing my painter's tape really late, so it's too tacky to even slide over, but it did create this little lip on the sides anyways, so here we go again. Gotta sand it down and do a final flood coat, which I actually wasn't too upset about because what this does is it sets my glitter in deeper and I don't have any ridges or bumps on the top of my panel, so it's just one glossy flat top coat. Thank you for watching. I hope that inspired you to create something. I hope it motivated you to create something, resin art or not. I've been recently getting into watercolors, so that's been fun. Check out my website, diankapours.com, for all the art supplies you need, for the Zoom consultation if you want to have that with me, or for courses if you want to watch those as well. Like this video, subscribe, help me get to that 100K, and I'll see you in the next video where I use my pigment Dewdrop. It's a good one. It's a very fun pigment to work with. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.